In the northern wilderness, grizzly bears survive not only on strength, but also on their ability to calculate every move. From mountain goat cliffs, deer trails, moose riverbanks, wolf encirclements, giant bison herds, to trout upstream, every confrontation is a test of terrain, energy, and timing. For grizzly bears, victory doesn't belong to the fastest, but to the one who chooses the right battlefield. On windswept mountain slopes, in the northern forests, and along frigid riverbanks, the grizzly bear appears as a powerful predator, but it never acts blindly. It possesses immense muscular strength, enough to take down large prey or compete for food with multiple rivals. In brief moments, a grizzly bear can accelerate to nearly 35 miles per hour, transforming its massive body into a powerful, overwhelming force. But speed isn't its most important weapon. The grizzly bear's true strength lies in its ability to calculate. It can read the wind direction, recognize the scent of its prey, observe the slope, the water currents, the mud, and every path on the ground. The grizzly bear doesn't waste energy on unfavorable hunts. If the terrain leans toward its prey, it can retreat. If distance, wind direction, and ground are in its favor, it will approach with terrifying patience. In the wild, grizzly bears don't win by brute force alone. It survives because it knows when to continue, when to stop, and when to turn the terrain itself into an ally. Mountain goats are practically born to conquer rugged terrain. With their lightweight bodies, excellent cloven hooves for gripping rocks, and the ability to balance on ledges only a few inches wide, they can move where many other animals wouldn't dare set foot. When a grizzly bear spots its target, its predatory instincts kick in. It accelerates to close in, bringing with it the strength of a body weighing around 700 pounds. But on a steep mountainside, that very weight becomes a burden. Each step consumes energy. The narrow rock face, steep incline, and unexpected turns prevent the bear from using its full strength as it would on flat ground. Meanwhile, the mountain goat changes direction quickly on the cliff face, stepping over narrow ledges with incredible precision. By the time the bear reaches the ridge, its prey is already in a safe position, on the edge of the rock out of reach. The grizzly bear stops, measures the distance, and understands that one wrong step could cost it dearly. It retreated, not because it was weaker, but because the terrain was not on its side. At the foot of the mountains, amidst trails covered in humus, tree roots, and rugged terrain, deer are a vital energy source for grizzly bears when salmon are scarce or berries become scarce. Deer don't possess overwhelming strength, but they have speed, good reflexes, and familiarity with forest trails. If they maintain distance, they can easily escape a heavier predator. But grizzly bears don't hunt purely on speed. When they spot a deer, they sprint for a short distance to create pressure, then switch to a steady, persistent, and calculated pursuit. They read the ground like a living map: slippery slopes, fallen tree trunks, narrow bends, and soft patches of ground that easily cause prey to lose balance. The bear doesn't need to outrun the deer in a straight line. It just needs to force the deer into a path where mistakes are likely. The chase becomes a battle of wits between speed and terrain reading ability. The deer constantly changes direction to escape, but just one misstep, one misjump, or one hasty turn is enough to squander its advantage. In the riverbanks and northern forests, moose appear as a huge but dangerous prey. A mature male can weigh between 900 and 1,200 pounds, stand 6 to 7 feet tall at the shoulder, and possess antlers nearly 6 feet wide. With grizzly bears weighing 600 to 800 pounds, this is not a target to attack indiscriminately. Mature moose have long legs, powerful kicks, and antlers that can turn any approach into a deadly risk. Therefore, grizzly bears rarely choose to confront a strong male head-on. They usually look for a more opportune moment: a young moose, a tired individual, or a moose without antlers moving near the water's edge. The bear's tactic isn't to charge immediately. It silently maneuvers, driving the moose towards the riverbank, where the ground is slippery, the water is deep, and the space is narrow. If the mother moose is distracted for even a few seconds, the bear quickly closes the distance. But if it encounters an adult deer that turns against it, the bear will read the danger signal and retreat. On cold grasslands, in northern forests, or around a recently fallen carcass, grizzly bears and wolves sometimes face each other over the same food source. Wolves don't possess the individual strength of grizzly bears, but they live in packs. A pack can consist of 6 to 10 individuals, moving nimbly, coordinating well, and knowing how to apply pressure from multiple directions to find their opponent's weaknesses. When approaching a bear holding a meal, the wolf pack doesn't charge directly. They circle the bear like a moving saw, maintaining distance, constantly changing positions, and waiting for the moment the bear turns at the wrong angle. If the bear exposes a weak flank, the entire pack can press close, forcing it to expend energy defending itself. In some situations, if the pack is large enough and coordinated well enough, the wolves can force the bear to leave the meal. But most of the time, the grizzly bear retains the advantage. It doesn't need a prolonged attack. A single short lunge toward the closest wolf was enough to break the arc formation, forcing the entire pack to retreat. On the cold savanna, along slippery riverbanks and vast grasslands, bison are a tremendous source of energy. But for grizzly bears, they are not prey to be attacked recklessly. A mature male bison can weigh over 1,500 pounds, stand nearly 6 feet tall at the shoulder, possess immense head-butting power, and typically live in herds. When defending itself head-on, it can turn any approach into a deadly risk. When an opportunity arises, the bear begins to force the bison's movement. It uses not only strength, but also the terrain as a trap. Step by step, it drives its target toward the water's edge, where the ground is slippery, the current is deep, and the bison's ability to resist is significantly reduced. In this confrontation, the bear wins not because it is stronger than all the bison, but because it chooses the right individual, the right terrain, and makes the ground itself the hardest part of the hunt. In the cold, headwaters of rivers, where rushing water crashes against rocks and white foam churns incessantly, salmon begin their upstream journey to spawn. They swim, according to a chemical map deeply ingrained in their bodies, traversing hundreds of miles, battling the fierce currents to return to the beginning of their life cycle. But for grizzly bears, the salmon season is the most crucial time to stockpile energy before winter. Salmon are powerful swimmers, able to leap upstream and jump out of the water to overcome natural rock steps. But that very moment also makes them most vulnerable to attack. Grizzly bears don't need to chase. They stand in the shallow water where the rocks form steps, forcing the salmon to leap out of the water. With their sturdy bodies, low center of gravity, and feet firmly planted in the riverbed, they wait as part of the current. When a salmon jumps out of sync, the bear strikes immediately. A precise pounce, a powerful bite, and the precious energy is already in its jaws. After all the confrontations, the grizzly bear proves that true strength lies not just in muscle or speed. It knows how to retreat from the cliffs of mountain goats, force deer into making mistakes on the trail, calculate risks with moose, guard food against wolves, choose the weak points of bison, and position itself correctly among salmon. In the northern wilderness, grizzly bears survive not by always charging, but by knowing when to attack, when to wait, and when to turn the terrain to their ally.